Welcome in again, another segment of Urban Nighttime Talk with your boy Biggs, the voice of the hood, back with us, Mook.
Yes, how you doing, people? You know, it's your boy Mook.
Show some love. We got the beautiful Vaughn, the queen in the building, and our special guest for tonight is the special guest, Michelle.
Thank you for being here, Michelle. Thank you, Mook, for coming back once again.
Thank you.
And thank you, Biggs, for today's discussion. We'll be talking about love and relationships and the idealism of love. Where did it come from? What do we think about it today? And how do you feel about the reality of everyone thinking they're in love when a lot of times it's just lust?
Well, like I said before, I believe love is overrated nowadays. Before, love had a stronger meaning. There was great musicians that sat down and tried to create theme songs or a beautiful song just to capture the word love, and they would take their entire day just to make sure they explain each part of love. We're gonna get the voice of the hood's opinion on love.
Primarily, love is not the same because, you know, today society, a lot of people are growing up in dysfunctional homes. So, you know, there's not the father around to see that happy couple, that mother and father growing up, you know, like is lacking that, you know, like me myself, you know, growing up, I didn't have my father around, so there you go. Like, you know, I had to find out what's love through experience, and you know, not every experience is something memorable, but experience is what builds character. So
that's true. We're gonna take our special guest's opinion, Michelle.
Well, I think love is love never changes. It's just that people don't really realize what love is.
True.
I don't think they really, you know, take the time to. First, love starts with feeling and caring about yourself. So if you don't care about yourself, then you can't love anyone else, or you can't love. But I think the fact of love is people have their own perceptions of love.
True.
But love is just love. It is what it is.
So, I mean, well, based off what the voice of the hood just said, do you feel an unhappy house or an unstable relationship or family complications that, you know, dysfunctional family issues can cause love to be maybe abstracted or not perceived or passed down the proper way? Do you feel like this is a roadblock for, you know, for love?
I don't think you pass down love. Love is a feeling, it's an emotion that you give. You don't pass it down. You establish love within yourself, within your soul.
Well, if someone is harsh to you all their life and not passing down love, as in showing you love, then how are you able to gain love without learning love?
Well, is it showing you love or compassion? These people can show you compassion without love. And they can just, and then love and compassion is two different things. So, like I said, love is a human emotion, and how somebody perceives a bad treatment is a feeling.
So I like to say that when it comes to love, a lot of times people do have ideologies about love from things that they've heard coming up as children, fantasies, and a lot of times they don't understand as adults, mature beings, that love is the feeling that Michelle is talking about, and it's from an emotional state of mind and being. Whereas sometimes some people could see something and yet have their own feeling and perception about it and say, yes, this is love. But they don't understand that those feelings of love are feelings that they need to evaluate to know whether that is love, genuine love, or just lust or like.
That's a great way of putting it.
A lot of valid points.
Yes.
You know, it's just that we don't have like that voice, like to, you know, there's no something that we can look to.
Right.
A lot of people don't have that foundation, you know, to understand, like, you know, get a good perspective on what love.
Well, I believe love starts as a child. If love is not shown, if a child does not recognize love, how is he able to tell what is love? Me, for example, I was not raised with love, similar to what my counterpart said. And it was tough because you sort of have to know who likes you or who cares for you without knowing who really loves you. it's easier to be raised in love than raised without love. The people that goes through both would understand what that means, but it's a touchy topic.
Would you say love is blind?
It depends on the standard. If you're talking about a relationship or you're talking about from a child's perspective.
Okay, well, I would like to say, what if it is because, like, and it's a valid thing to say that when you're a child coming up, that you may not have the family dynamics that a lot of other people, as far as two family homes where there's a dad and a mom. You may have just a grandmother. You may be an adopted child. Do you think that even though you say love could be something that you don't understand because of your background as a child, do you think that you can mature into learning what real love is and genuine love, even though you didn't have those type of backgrounds?
But, like, you can. I'm not saying, you cannot, shape out to understand love, but it's just the numbers don't lie, The percentage of people that grow up without, a happy home, it doesn't turn out well for them.
Okay. So how do you feel about the urban community, whereas a lot of people are growing up in single-parent homes, and they don't necessarily understand the dynamics of love, whereas they feel that maybe they've been in abusive households or drug-addicted parents. Their perception of love may be different. How do you see that in the urban community?
The urban community, what I see is a lot of, abusive relationships. It may not be physical all the time, but definitely verbal abuse. When you as you said, like, drugs get in the mixture, a lot of the times is because they use that as a way to cope with how to deal with things, especially in the urban community, because what are we surrounded by? Liquor stores and things of that nature, and the ATM machine in every corner.
Michelle, can I ask you a question about today's youth when it comes to love? Do you think that there's a lot of promiscuity?
Well, promiscuity is lust. That doesn't equate to love.
They don't understand.
No, that doesn't equate to love. That's promiscuity. The thing is, love is unconditional, and that's something that we withhold in our souls. And the thing is, it's misinterpreted through learned behavior. We're told what love is, and we think that what we see is love and this and that, but love is within us. And like a child is just born with love because they're innocent, and it's innocence. Love is innocence. It's unconditional. It's regardless to what, when, where, and what and why. And people have a misconception of the whole concept.
Ms. Michelle, can I ask you a question? Who is your favorite famous couple that you see sort of motivates you to possibly pursue love or be satisfied with love? Is there any couple that comes to mind?
Ruby Dee and Ozzie Davis.
Very good.
What about you?
What
about you?
Really don't have one.
You don't have one?
I'm gonna be real.
And can I ask you, why is that?
Is there any?
Why is that? I don't know. I just don't see it. Like, I don't, because we get so caught up in what we see on TV. I just want to know if it's real or not.
Okay.
The hood don't go for that. Like, we have to see it in our up front.
You're saying that there's not a lot of Black, Hispanic, or minority couples that are genuinely in love in their relationship?
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that it's rare. Like, you don't see it, and what we see on TV is what they want to project an image to us. So everybody believes that is all good and dandy, but that's just an image, the upkeep. They are like as entertainers. They entertain us.
I also believe that a lot of people are disillusioned by the things they see in TV when it comes to relationships, because although actors live a life in front of the camera and they may portray that they're a happy couple, a lot of times marriages do not withstand the issues.
But at the same time, I'm not saying they can have a nice, stable relationship. There's also a possibility. I'm not saying, but the majority is what they. Because if you look at the video, prime example, the you know, the latest one in the hood that everybody keep talking about is the Beyonce. All right, Beyonce. It's like all of that is edited. You know, it's not like in sequence where it's just, you know, the full length.
That's actually true. I don't believe
it's
that's
like,
child.
I mean, I'm not saying that is not, but I'm just saying that it's edited. You had to, you know, make what scenes you want to keep, what scenes get left out. Like, I want to know what's behind the scenes, you know?
Okay.
Especially, I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. The segment where she spoke to Oprah.
Yes.
She was asked questions about her father, you know, the situation. She didn't really touch that topic.
So do you think
You know?
that her answers were more or less scripted?
I wouldn't say
Unemotional, but scripted?
I wouldn't say scripted. She was just kind of, you know, deferring.
Okay.
Like she wasn't. It's like a subject that she didn't want to touch.
Okay. So we'll be taking a break right now.
We'll be right back with Urban Nighttime Talk. And we're back to Urban Nighttime Talks with Mook, Vaughn, and our special guest Michelle. Now the topic we wish to touch on now for the viewers at home is what makes him or her alter their body in order to feel accepted or loved. You know, it's something that both parties do. So, but we're gonna get Vaughn's opinion on basically why this process continues.
I think people damage their own selves and self-esteem when they are caring for other people's perception of them. Too busy wondering how someone feels about how they look. So in order to feel better about themselves, they will dye their hair, get breast implants, maybe even Botox or other body enhancements like their behinds. And this is
The booties.
The booties.
The hood, we call that the booties.
And this is going on in today's world, and I feel that affects a lot of people because their perception is damaged. And if you could just ask Michelle or Mook maybe, what do they feel about this?
But this goes back, you know, it ties into what we was explaining before, like, you know, perception, like the whole thing is what people see. So now they want to be that image, like the whole, you know, the strippers, the videos and everything. So that's what, you know, guys are looking for now. So that's why you're seeing it more often, and that's why people taking risk on their lives to enhance something that is just, you know.
So from a female
Yes.
opinion on a guy perspective,
Yes.
what are some things that you feel guys are doing
Yeah.
as well?
Come on, you see them all the time, bulking up, you know, like can't even wipe their neck, having a hard time get to the neck. I mean, you know, health is important. You know, like you want to get in shape, but I don't think your motivation should be to get in shape for just like a female. You should want to do it for yourself first.
Right. Now, Michelle, we want to ask you, what is your opinion on the whole thought process of a male or a female altering himself in order to be accepted by today's society?
Well, I think it depends on the person's self-esteem. First, you got to love yourself.
True.
And, you know, you have advertisements, because in different cultures, different things are beautiful and attractive in different cultures all over the world. And in our, you know, in our culture, here in the United States, Western culture, they beautify self-mutilation.
Exactly.
You know, they self-mutilate here. And until people can be, until they can be individualized and love themselves, they won't have to deal with advertisements and trying to, you know, duplicate what they see.
You're right.
And accept who they are when they look in the mirror and see that.
Hold on, can I have another question? So do you feel technology has a downfall on today's society?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I think it's a brainwashing technique. Yes, I do, and it's a very negative. It has a very negative influence, and I think we need to all wake up.
When you say wake up, what do you mean exactly as far as wake up?
I think we need to look at ourselves and realize that we're beautiful, regardless to, because we come in all different shapes, colors, and sizes, and we are beautiful. Who we are as a person is beautiful, and until we accept that, then we will self-mutilate and we'll try to replicate all the falsified, you know, images that we see.
But you know, to be honest, it's easy to say we're beautiful, and it's another thing to believe you're beautiful.